I have such great news today. The Ulta 21 Days of Beauty Fall event has finally been announced. It will be starting September 1st, and you know on this channel, you know we are gonna have a weekly product by product discussion. Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video I'm going to be doing a haul, but I'm going to do this a little differently. I am going to do this try on style so you're looking at the end result, but these are also products that I've been using, most of them have been using for, well, since I bought them. So this is kind of my last 3 weeks of purchases. A lot of you had asked me on my last video if I'll do a follow-up haul, but I kind of was just planning to keep those in the favorites and fails at the end of every 2 months. That's a lot to condense into that video though, so I was thinking, well, what if we aim for a middle ground, something where, you know, it's a haul but products that I've already tried so I can actually talk about my experiences. I think it's a little better because then I've usually had the time to step back and think about, you know, the pros and the cons, because I don't know, it's just, maybe it's just me, but I get kind of hung up on the cons of a product up front, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like it. And then later I'll realize, oh, but I actually do like this aspect of it. I like this aspect. I think maybe I just get too nervous about wasting my money, you know what I'm saying? So that's the plan for this video, and hopefully this approach will be a little more helpful than just watching a first impression type of haul. We're gonna start with the Milani Gilded Rouge eyeshadow palette. Oh, I was so excited to see new palettes from one of my favorite drugstore eyeshadow brands in the world. The pictures on the Ulta website absolutely do not do this palette justice. It is so beautiful. There are multi-dimensional colors to the shimmers in here. The shimmers are stunning. That said, we have some things to say about the mattes. This is a new formula for Milani, and I don't like it as much. It's just that the old formula was such pure perfection. These are a lot more powdery. I find powdery is not a bad thing when you're talking about shimmers, but when you're talking about mattes, you know, you blend out your mattes a lot. So when you're blending an extra powdery eyeshadow, you end up getting a lot more fallout. You might accidentally blend the color away, especially if you are more new to eyeshadow or if you have a heavier hand just by default. Then in addition to that, it seems like all these mattes have a little bit of a sheen to them. Part of me was like, maybe they're not even meant to be mattes because they claim these are silky mattes, but I've always felt the word silky is just supposed to describe usage as opposed to a finish. I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit more of a red look today and use these glitters, which I've avoided up until today. I want to keep this video moving, so I'm just going to kind of tell you guys what I've been doing. So I started with Peach Fuzz, and then I used Overbaked and Slow Burn in the outer V. I feel like I'm not even really seeing a lot of differentiation in color. I've had to spray my brush to try to get the color to adhere. I'm just really not loving this to the extent of past Milani palettes. It's actually quite sad. Now that's personal preference, and I can actually see why some people might prefer this, but after this video, I'm only going to be using the shimmers in this palette. To me, these mattes are just, they're just not doing it. I'm going to do the fake cut crease thing today with some NYX glitter glue because, like I said, I want to try those glitters today, and we're going to need some glitter glue for that. My eyeshadow is too beautiful to be contained to only my eyelids, okay? I think I can best describe this by saying, Milani, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. People loved the old formula. I don't know about this. I don't think it's being received poorly though, because I did notice it has a 4-star rating. So let me know if you guys have tried the new Milani palettes and what your thoughts are if you have. I have purchased 3 primers recently. I'm gonna tell you guys about 2 of them and then try one of them on. So the LC Pearl Radiance Primer, I got this for 40% off, and I would not pay more. Actually, this does have pros and cons, so let me go over them. So it is a white illuminating primer, which I think is something that the beauty world does need. I've tried a lot of illuminating primers that do not look good on my skin tone. You know, a lot of them seem like they were made for NC25 skin, really right around that range. So sometimes it can be a bit jarring to use ones that really deepen up your skin tone if you have more fair skin. So something like this, it's actually going to give you a nice light illumination, but I guess what kind of was odd to me about this is I can't really think of it doing much more. There's not any skincare benefits to using this, and I feel like we've moved in such a direction that almost every new primer on the market has something going on with that. I guess I'm just a little underwhelmed with it, even though I do think it will be nice for people with very fair skin tones. Also, it says on here, best used following the Glow Enhancer Dry Face Oil. At this point, I'm just like, man, how many products do I have to buy to use something that's already $38? So yeah, it's real iffy for me. I don't love it. But then we have Makeup Revolution's Hydrate and Prime Primer. This one is $8, okay? And I actually like this more because now you're getting into actual skincare benefits. Even if barely, because really the only thing about it is it does contain hyaluronic acid, and it is runny. But I'll tell you what this reminds me so much of using: Smashbox's Primerizer. I feel like we're always kind of trying to figure out what Makeup Revolution is duping, and yeah, I get the feeling. I get the feeling it's Primerizer. They feel the exact same. Smashbox's Primerizer has a couple more things going for it, but it also does claim to be a primer and a moisturizer, but this is also $8. Which brings me to the primer I'm going to try today. This is Ofra's Cool as a Cucumber Primer. I got this for 40% off as well. I think the packaging is really pretty, but I have no idea what I was thinking buying a primer with the word cucumber in it. Do you know what scent I do not like? Oh, this is gonna be rough. But I gotta admit, this actually has the best ingredients list, in my opinion, of all three of the primers. We've got coconut oil in here, cucumber extract, kukui nut oil, hyaluronic acid, sodium ascorbyl phosphate, my favorite vitamin C. Let's try it. So I've noticed that we have some new faces around here. Would any of you like to stand up before the class and introduce yourselves? I'm kidding. I always found that terrible when you had to do that, especially when the professor also gave you a list of commentary. All right, class, we're going to go around the room. I want you to say your name, where you're from, and who is your favorite philosopher. No, that's way too much pressure for the first day of class. You get yourself all turned around. Hi, I'm Alice. I'm from John Rawls, and my favorite philosopher is Florida. Speaking of Florida, you know what I always disagreed with Pitbull on? Miami's only the greatest city if you're rich. Trust me, I would know. My favorite restaurant in Miami is Walgreens. I have got to be honest with you, that applied really nicely. We'll see how it wears with foundation, but man, I might have to get past the scent. Yeah. Which was really easy today since I'm still congested. So the foundation I'm going to be using is the Suasu Perfecting Cushion. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to be sent this by Suasu. Thank you. This is a gorgeous cushion foundation. If you guys prefer a lighter coverage and something with SPF, this has an SPF of 50. And the shade they sent me is number 17 Light Beige. It's a good match, but I will say it has a little bit of a white cast. It's not terrible though. You'll probably see it as I apply it, but once I powder, it kind of takes the edge off of it. Oh, this is beautiful. I would call this makeup for skincare fans. It even smells like Suasu skincare, if you know what I mean. Suasu is a really interesting skincare brand. They are a luxury Korean brand, but I really had great results when I used them. Still using some of their products to this day. A couple of things for those of you that may be new to cushion foundations. One of the questions I see people ask is this a sanitary system? I think it can be. Just make sure that you clean it out. Just, wipe this down with alcohol, wash this every couple of days, and you should be fine. And with most of these high-end cushion foundations, you do get an additional foundation refill in your box. Okay, so then I bought the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I'm gonna try to use this today. This is the shade Porcelain, and I was kind of disappointed when I swatched it initially, and I shouldn't have been. I know Too Faced, I should have known that this color was gonna lean a little yellow because literally every shade they've ever put out is also yellow. Don't buy Too Faced complexion products if you have cool undertones, I'll tell you that. Oh look, I'm expecting a pimple to come to a head in a few days. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. I was hoping to use this concealer under my eyes, but I like to use a pink base, a cool toned concealer under my eyes to kind of cancel out the blue. So I just used the Fenty Matchstick in Amber to contour because the face palette I'm about to use is really warm toned. And then I set everything with the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. This one is going to be in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty for this upcoming event. I think it is nice, but you know what? It's actually lighter than the Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder. All right, so I'm gonna be using the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. I got this for 50% off, and it's gonna be 50% off in the 21 Days of Beauty as well. This is a stunning palette, but I think you might like it a little more if you do have more of a medium skin tone than I do. These are some pigmented products in here, but they actually blend out really nicely. I used this pink Wink blush the other day. Oh, I thought I ruined my whole look. I mean, watch this, look at that. Look at how intense that blush is, but it actually blends out to look really nice. I'll try to do something a little different today. We'll use the Pink Sand blush in here, which is a little more cool toned. That's actually a really pretty blush. This is a really shimmery bronzer. I still haven't tried it. I used Sunny Honey the other day. I'm just gonna use that one again. I gotta admit, every time I use the blush and the bronzer in here, I really like the end look. I think it looks very natural as opposed to I'm wearing blush bronzer. It actually looks its name. Good job there. The highlighters, however, the Satin Sheets shade, this one is a little too yellow on my skin. You see how abrupt that is? It's definitely, it's an intense highlighter in a way that I don't like, so I'm not going to be wearing that today. Instead, we're going to try the pink shade, kind of more of a blush topper, I think. I like that more, but I can still tell you it's not going to be my favorite highlighter. All right, so I just used my NARS Climax mascara. This one I bought 2 times so far. Oh my gosh, did you guys see the latest NARS release, by the way? If not, I'm not going to tell you. Go look it up. Even I'm a little surprised by it, and I know NARS's product names. It's really fascinating. I got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know, this isn't really as new as it seems. It's actually old. I mean, look at the art of Pompeii. It's like NARS thinks we're living in Pompeii. I hope we're not. Sometimes I wonder with this country. Now I'm really questioning, who is NARS' target audience? Because share your thoughts in the comments. I'm gonna finish off this look with my other favorite product. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. It is the Persona Season 1 lip gloss. Were you guys there for the fight on National Lipstick Day? This was the shade Honey. It did sell out incredibly fast, but then Ulta brought it back a couple weeks later, and I was like, if there's that much hype around this, maybe I should try it. It's funny, I was thinking about it, and I rarely have strong feelings about a lip gloss. Some of them, I'm like, well, you're gonna wanna wear your hair in a ponytail for the day. But usually I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of neutral. This is actually incredible. It's not sticky at all. It wears beautifully. The color is nice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a couple of skincare items into this video. So I did get the Hangover Good to Go Skin Protecting SPF 25 Moisturizer. This was a gift with purchase with the concealer. I'm excited about this, kind of. I'm a little nervous that the sunscreen might break me out because it is a chemical sunscreen, but it's really got some nice ingredients, especially if that doesn't bother you. This has lactobacillus ferment, hyaluronic acid, aloe, jojoba, coconut water. It really looks like a nice formula, so I don't know, I'm on the fence. Let me know if you have tried this. A big part of the problem is I haven't isolated which chemical sunscreen bothers me, because I can use some of them just fine and others I can't, and I don't know which is which. So Dr. Brandt sent me this 2% retinol complex serum. I've actually been trying this for the past 2 nights. It was painful to hold off on trying this because I was so curious. This is a nice formula. It's a 2% retinol with a time release formulation. It's also got shea butter in it, honey, which I thought was a really interesting ingredient. As you know, well, maybe as you know, I talk about this a lot. I like honey because it is an antiseptic ingredient, so it does help to fight the bacteria that the acne is, or you know, what causes it. Let me go ahead and show you this, because it's a different formulation from the one that I've used for a long time, Peter Thomas Roth's. So this one is going to be more of a lotion texture. That is kind of my one gripe with Peter Thomas Roth's. It's very runny, so it has a tendency to go everywhere. This has been really nice and controlled. I ran a poll asking you guys what skincare ingredient you want me to talk about next, and retinol did win. So I should have that video up probably next week. I want to make sure I cover everything that people ask about retinol, all the questions I could think of. You know, can you use different for anti-aging purposes? How does Bacahil compare? All of that. And then I also bought the Mario Badescu drying mask. Well, let me tell you why I bought it. So you might know that I love the drying lotion. That is a sulfur-based product that you apply anywhere that you are breaking out. Well, somebody was like, you should try the drying mask. One of my friends in real life was like, you should try the drying mask. It doesn't contain alcohol. Oh my God. Oh. I've been keeping this little foil here to try to keep the smell contained and only pull out a little bit here. It is so bad. I appreciate unscented skincare, and I recognize that a lot of the active ingredients in skincare smell a little bad. Like vitamin C, it smells like hot dog water to some people, right? This is next level. I can barely handle it. I think the results are great, but oh, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you did enjoy it. Let me know if you like this kind of middle of the road haul, midway haul, mid something haul. And I'll see you guys next time.